So this is what my room looks like after about 4 days of not doing my daily chores, which honestly, it's actually pretty impressive how quickly this space gets messy in such a short amount of time. But like, that's kind of just the reality of living in a dorm, is that like the space is so small and I spend so much of my life in here that it's just like, of course it's going to get messy really quickly. So that kind of just is what it is. The space is very rarely spotless, but I'm going to show you what I do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to keep the mess at a minimum at the very least. So let's jump right into it. Diving straight into my daily chores, obviously. Making the bed is right at the top of the list. I'm gonna be totally honest, this is one of those things that doesn't always get done because when I'm working with limited time and energy, I prioritize the functional over the aesthetic. But when I do have the time, it just really makes the room feel a lot cleaner and gets my day off to a great start. Next on the list, but maybe a little bit less optional, is doing my dishes. So I can't really make use of the meal plan, and so I make all of my own food and obviously go through a lot of dishes. And no, I do not have my own kitchen. This is a dorm room. So all of my dishes, including the dirty ones, obviously have to stay in this room if I ever want to see them again. And the way that I make that work is I've got this wonderful little basket here, which I just load up with dirty dishes once it's full. Normally I take it downstairs. Obviously I, in this case, have created more than one load's worth of dishes just because I let things get away from me, but I think that the system actually works really well. Like, the fact that the mess is contained to that one basket makes it feel like there's not just a pile of dirty dishes sitting on my dresser, and obviously it also makes it a lot easier to transport them because the kitchen is downstairs and I am on the second floor. So that works really well for me, and this chore is right at the top of the list for what might seem like a kind of strange reason, but it's actually just that I kind of enjoy doing the dishes. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still a chore, but it's a kind of meditative and relaxing chore, and most importantly, it's like so instant gratification. Like, it only takes a minute to wash a single dish and then the dish is clean, and like, you can see the difference between a dirty dish and a clean dish. It's not like, you know, doing the laundry where it's like whatever, the clothes look the same, they're just in my dresser now. It's like, no, this dish is clean and it's gonna go back on the shelf and it's gonna be clean and I can use it again. It's just like, I don't know, it's a very invigorating, motivating chore for me, and it's a chore that I can do and then like feel like I've really accomplished something, which gets the ball rolling for like cleaning up the rest of this mess. After the dishes are taken care of though, I usually move on to like picking up the floor, and if there's a mess on the floor, almost 80% of it is probably going to be laundry, so I usually prioritize that first, and then I move on to picking up trash, just because like the room cannot feel clean if there is trash on the floor and like trash strewn about all of the surfaces, so I take care of that next. I also clear off the surface of my desk every day just because obviously I'm a student, I use that thing, and it is like really essential that I'm able to like get my work done without, you know, pushing aside other piles of paper and makeup and art supplies and all of that junk that tends to accumulate even over the course of a single day. Another thing that I do that I personally feel like makes a really big difference in the like average cleanliness of my room is what I call a pick three, which is basically where whenever I'm standing up and waiting for something, usually this is for the microwave to go off, I just pick up 3 things. That's all. Just 3 things. They can be big, they can be small, they can be important, they can be unimportant. Just pick up 3 things. And almost always I pick up more than 3 things. In this case, obviously, I just like picked up all of the miscellaneous junk that was laying around my room because, you know, it had gotten out of control and the point of this video was to clean. But generally, I find that spreading it out throughout the day is a lot easier and more manageable. And also, I obviously take care of Chalupa every single day. I scoop his litter, I refill his water, I give him his dry food, I give him his wet food. I also include like playing with him and letting him out, going on walks, that sort of thing. That all happens every single day because I love him. Moving on to things that I do approximately once a week, maybe more often, maybe less often, but like generally around that weekly mark. First off, easy peasy, do a load of laundry. Anything, everything. Just one load, at least. I also go ahead and like clear the floor, anything that has, you know, snuck through the cracks of my pick 3 technique. Usually this is cat toys, if I'm gonna be honest. And that is to prepare for vacuuming. I'm gonna be honest, I'm obsessed with vacuuming. I love my vacuum. I grew up in a household that only had like one of those horrific, like ancient, super heavy duty vacuums. And so I always hated it because it was so like exhausting and it was so loud and it was just horrible. But now I have a lightweight vacuum and it's the best thing in the world. And obviously I dump out the vacuum when I'm done using it because it's a small little vacuum, and while I'm there I also take out the trash. I wipe down my dresser because my dresser is effectively my countertop. I prepare food on there and it gets gross pretty quickly. I also have this wonderful humongous water jug and it's the best thing ever. My kitchen is all the way downstairs, and so having this like big jug that I can refill my water from without having to go downstairs every single time I'm thirsty is really nice. Moving on to my monthly chores. Once again, sometimes these chores happen more than once a month. Sometimes they happen less than once a month. It just is what it is. On that list, though, is washing my sheets. I'll also say that I think on my last video, I got a comment of someone telling me that my mattress topper is on upside down and that the bumps are like supposed to face me, and the flat side goes against the mattress, which currently I have the bumps facing the mattress, because I feel like the point of the bumps is to like create a little bit of airflow, and like if I had the bumpy side facing me, then I would be like laying on a bumpy surface, like, and so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Please weigh in. Is my mattress topper on upside down? Is there a benefit to having the bumpy side up? Chime in down below. Also, Lola is here for a play date. This is her bed now. Also, I'll just say that I got this shot not realizing that the rattling of the dryer behind the tripod was so freaking aggressive that it looks completely ridiculous. I'm so sorry. This shot was totally ruined. Anyways, while I wait for the sheets to get washed, I move on to cleaning out my mini fridge. This is partially just like picking up and throwing away anything that has fallen through the cracks, because, you know, happens to the best of us. But I also go ahead and give everything a good scrub down just because, you know, I feel like mini fridges get grosser faster than normal fridges, but that kind of just is what it is. And then I go ahead and do basically the same exact thing for my pantry. Obviously, my quote-unquote pantry is actually just the bottom 2 drawers of this dresser. And also the drawers are always broken. It's so annoying. You're gonna be seeing me struggle with these stupid freaking drawers this entire time I'm working here, but some storage is better than no storage, and this system does work pretty well for me.
I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna set you up. Come on.
When I first saw this dresser, was like struck by how comically humongous it is, but the fact that it has all of this extra room is really good because like I have no idea where else I would store my food. But yeah, I just take everything out, clean out the drawer itself, and then put everything back in a more organized fashion.
Anyways, while I am working on other kitchen stuff, I usually just go ahead and also wipe down the microwave. That also gets pretty gross pretty quickly, and while I'm in the mood to wipe things down, I just go ahead and wipe down everything, every surface in my freaking room that gets any amount of traffic at all. It just feels more clean when I know that it's being sanitized, at least semi-regularly. And with all of the surfaces clean, I go ahead and delve into the closed storage. My drawers, especially on my desk, get super duper messy and disorganized really quickly. So at least once a month, I like to just go in, clear everything out, clean it up, and then put it back in a way that makes a little bit more sense. Usually this involves removing things that don't really belong in that particular drawer and prioritizing the things that I use the most frequently towards the front. At the top here, I've got this like junk drawer situation. On the second drawer is all of Chalupa's stuff, and on the bottom is all of my art supplies. And I just go through everything and make sure it's all super nice and functional. Anyways, as I work on these monthly chores, most of which are more like deep cleaning, right? I just wanted to throw out there that on the internet, and in real life as well, but especially on the internet, there is what I'm just gonna go ahead and call a really toxic and unhelpful culture surrounding hygiene and cleanliness. You know, like, there are legitimately people on here who are like, if you aren't replacing your pillowcase twice a week, every week, you're like a disgusting monster who's living in filth. And if you're not exfoliating every single day, you surely smell bad. And oh my god, why are you only cleaning out your fridge once a month? Like, that's so gross. Clean it every week. And, you know, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. We all come from different climates and cultures, and like, we all think clean means something different. But I also just wanted to say, because I know that this kind of video can contribute to that really high standard of cleanliness that not all of us meet, that you're not gross or dirty or like doing something wrong if you're not doing all of this deep cleaning every month. And I can say with full confidence that if your space is safe, like there's no biohazards, fire hazards, or broken glass on the floor, and it's functional, you can get everything done that you need to get done, your space is clean enough. And I don't think that I need to tell you that if your space is not safe and it's not functional, you don't have to live like that. There is help available, and there is no shame in asking for it. You deserve to live with peace and cleanliness. But I digress. This is what I do because it's what I have the time and energy for, and it's what it takes for me to feel like my space is clean. As always, different strokes for different folks. Don't let this be something that is an intimidating standard to aspire to. Let this be something to motivate and inspire you. Anyways, please enjoy the rest of this super satisfying cleaning footage that I have for you here.
It is only 3 o'clock and the sun is already at that perfect angle to just blind me straight into the eyeballs. Also, Chalupa really wants to be free, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. This is pretty much as clean as my room gets. Like I said earlier, I don't want this to be a like unattainable standard which you must like try to achieve, but rather just I hope this inspired and motivated you to clean your own room and gave you some good ideas for the best and most logical way to do that. That's all this video was. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed. This whiny boy wants to be free, so I'm gonna go let him out now, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye. I know, you're such a baby. You're such a baby.